In this video, we're going to be talking about how to open an Excel document off Dropbox and edit it and send it to someone. The most common one in Excel will be your time card. So if you go ahead and open Dropbox, something's going to come up. You might have to go back or whatever and go to the shared Shaw Electric folder, go to Forms. If you scroll down to the T's and look for time cards, right there, time card auto sum. Touch that. It'll show up on the right, but just like before, you cannot edit it here. You have to, on the bottom right, there's an I with a line through it. If you touch that, something like this will come up, and you just want to continue. Open with Microsoft Excel, touch there. Now it's going to open it in Excel. It might ask you to allow. Let's go ahead and allow. The first time it might take a little bit longer. So now here is a time card, but if you notice on the top in the light yellow it says read only. You do not have permission to save changes to this file. So before you even start editing this thing, you need to hit save a copy. So I want you to type in this week's date, whatever it is, 1/14/19. Now I want you to save it in your Dropbox in that time cards folder we created. So if you go to your Dropbox, your folders will come up right here. If you hit time cards, right there, and hit save. So now this is going to automatically save any changes that you make, and it will be right in your time cards folder. So for instance, if you just click on the right home button over here, close, go back to Dropbox, back, go to time cards, you'll see your time card you just saved. Word of advice would be just to, if you're doing the same job over and over again, make kind of a master copy. So down on the bottom, where it says first employee, second employee, etc. If you just, this first employee, if you just touch it once, so you can, this will come up, you can rename it. Go ahead and rename it your name, whatever your actual name is. Don't type in your name. And you can do the same thing for all the employees working with you. So, and if you want to type in a cell, you just have to double tap it, and then the keyboard will come up. So go ahead and type in your name. And if you just want to, you can hit this tab button. It'll keep moving you through cells. So if the week ending was 1/14/19, say. Now here is where you're going to do your time in and outs. So for Monday, you're going to start at 7 a.m. So you double touch that cell at 7. Now you need to hit shift and the semicolon 00. It's important that you enter it in this format. So you got there at 7, hit the tab button, and then say you had a lunch break, so noon, then say you came back 30 minutes later, tab again, and then you left at 3:30. For this, you need to enter the 24-hour time, so 3:30 would be 15, semicolon, 30. Now hit enter. Notice how it summed up the total work hours for you. This is very handy. It'll also sum it up down here, so if you got the same thing, let's see, touch here, hit fill, and it didn't work how I wanted to. You have to enter 7 again. Now if you start at 7 all week, if you highlight both those cells, hit fill, you can drag down. It'll do 7s the whole time. As you saw, you have to have 2 of these, otherwise it'll start adding. So highlight both of those and just touch. So to highlight both, if you hit one of these little dots on either side and just pull it down, and then just wait a second, this will come up, hit fill. Now on the bottom right, you can just touch that little square and pull it down. Now, if you really want to get fancy, you could put the date in, say this was like So if you make a mistake, it's important on the top left, there's this it's a left arrow, there's like a page button, and there's a undo button. So if you touch there, you can undo your mistakes. It's handy. So I want 119. Now if you didn't want to enter every date, every day, if you touch here, touch a different cell first, touch, and then tap again, hit fill. Now if you drag this down, it'll do the dates for you. Now you'll notice over here it went and added the times for you. Total work hours is here. Say for instance on Friday you wanted to use 3 hours of vacation. If you double tap that, you can't just put 3, you have to put 3 hours. So 3 semicolon 00 and enter, close keyboard. Then you'll see it added up 3 here. It added 28 plus 3 to make 31. Same thing for holiday. Say there was 3 hours holiday. Close. Adds it all up. You can also, your other hours codes go here, so that's where you have, well, this would be vacation. And so forth. Sign here. So to sign, you need to hit on the top where it says home, insert, draw formulas. If you hit draw here, this will come up and you can touch whatever color you want. There's a highlighter too, but touch the marker, and then with your finger, or if you have a Apple Pencil or stylus, you can just sign your name here. And then when you're done, hit draw button on top to make it go away, so then you can scroll again. Oh, mistake. So undo button. Now if you hit home, and you're back here. Weekly safety training, whatever it was that week. Any concerns, write them here. And then down here it's important to put your job number. So whatever job you're working on, the number. And if there's a cost code, enter it there. And then wherever it's at, say it's at John Deere. And you can hit tab. Now here you can start entering hours. So what did we say? You had 8 hours on Monday. So if you have 8 there, and then you had 5 on Tuesday, and then 5, and 5, and 5. It'll add it up right there for you. Also here. So this number matches this number, which is important. Also, if you use vacation, you should touch there, type in vacation, and that was 3 hours on Friday. So double tap, hit 3. Holiday was Thursday. Touch. And you'll see 31 here. or sorry, 34, and then 34 here. Everything matches. Any per diem, just touch, put the dollar amount, put the job number there. Then when you get this thing all filled out, so for filling out daily, you would just hit this back button, and it would save it, just how you are. Then you come back to fill it out the rest of the week. You would just simply go to it again, open it back up, and finish filling it out. Any of these on the bottom that you don't use, so like this example shows all kinds of stuff here. You don't want to send that every week. If you just touch it, you can delete the sheet. Gone. Delete back home. So if it's just you this week, you could delete all the other sheets. Just tap them, delete, delete, delete. There you go. No, I don't know why that keeps doing that. Back. So here you go. So for instance, if you got through the whole week and then you got an apprentice on Friday and you want to fill out a time card for him, or if somebody worked the exact same hours as you could just have this here. If you touch on your name on the bottom left on the tab, hit duplicate. Now you made an exact copy. So a shortcut here. You want to rename this to your apprentice. Done. I don't know why I keep doing that. Home. You got to change the name. Apprentice. Done. Or you could change whatever you need to. Kind of a shortcut, so you don't have to input everything. Now when you get them all done into the week and you want to send them, on the very top right, there's this square with an arrow right up here. If you hit invite people, this will come up, but you just want to, on the bottom it says send a copy. So right there, send a copy. And send with another app. Use mail. And then type in whoever, or just type in mine. And then hit this, and I'll send it to me. So you can do that with any Excel document. And as you've noticed, the first time filling out the time card might be the most tedious, because a lot of this will, your job numbers might stay the same from week to week, so you don't want to mess with those too much. You can come back into Dropbox here, and you can just make a copy of it. So for the next week, it'd be a 1/21/19. Done. Save in time cards. Save a copy. So there's your next week's time card. If you touch that over here, and on the bottom right, open with Microsoft Excel. It'll open it for you. And you can change your hours, or you can add more people by touching on the bottom where it says your name or apprentice. You just tap one of those. You can duplicate your sheet exactly, or you can, if this guy's not helping, you can hit delete and delete it, change it. And that's how to do a time card.